guys, Mark and Billy Robinson here from the Wealth Game once again.
Hey, how's things?
Thank you all for joining us again tonight during our 7 Secrets series.
Been great.
Oh, it's been brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting amazing feedback, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks for that.
Absolutely. Tonight we're actually going to go through the Wealth Game's thing we call the Wealth Pyramid. This is what, it basically will show you how the wealthy build, grow and accelerate their wealth. It just sort of starts off and shows you how to structure and build your assets in the foundational assets, and then how to accelerate them, and then how to grow them and then accelerate them. But Mark's the one that's going to go through all that, that's why I'm stumbling over what I'm saying, because this is his gig.
That's all right, babe. I mean, look, the bottom line is if you look at wealth, I mean, to us it's not about the money, right? Because wealth can be whatever it means to you. Yeah, like we've been wealthy, ever since we met, because we've got to spend a lot of time together. We've got amazing two beautiful girls that we just get to spend a lot of time playing, working, having fun, just enjoying our company, and it's good to be that, right? So that's what wealth is for us. However, what I'm going to talk about tonight, it's the money side of things, all right? And I hope you understand that. Yeah, is that cool?
Yep, that's very cool.
Awesome. So guys, the way we work out at the Wealth Game is we look at several key elements to build your wealth pyramid, and it starts from the bottom, and it's what we call foundational wealth and foundational assets. So what we want you to look at is when you're building long-term wealth, this is the stuff that you're going to keep forever, right? And the types of things that I believe are key for that are property, long-term shares, right? And there's different, believe it or not, the shares can be in almost every one that we talk about tonight, and so can property, depending on what we're doing with it. But if you're going to buy a property and keep it forever, it's a foundational asset. Same as the real solid blue chip shares. Things like gold, silver, also Bitcoin, guys. Those of you who know me or getting to know me, you'll really understand the fact that I'm a big fan of cryptocurrency, and I believe Bitcoin is one of the things that you should be holding for a very long time.
It's like anything that you actually build. Like the stronger you build your foundations, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why we like definitely have a strong foundational asset.
And if you think about it, like our definition of a pyramid is something that's going to last, the test of time. You look at those ones in Egypt, they're still there after what, 3,000-5,000 years, maybe longer. So that's what we're trying to get you to understand, that if we build a solid foundations, then it's going to last the test of time, and that's what it is. So when I talk about the rest of them, guys, what happens is we get you to then grab the stuff up here that's potentially making way more profit or cash flow, and we get you to keep bringing them down and building those foundations and building those foundations, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. So after the next layer is what we call wholesale assets, and this is where you're buying quality assets at a discounted price. And it was right at the start of the 7 Secrets series, what we did is we spoke about wholesale assets, buying properties. We've got access to properties where literally the minute you sign on the dotted line, you're making instant equity, cash flow positive as well. And what we like about those wholesale assets is the same thing. Once you've purchased them, you can either bring them down into your foundations, or you can look to sell them, grab that profit and either do other things with it, or again bringing that profit back down to the foundational assets. It's always about bringing them down and having this nice section, and what percentage do we put and go where. The next part of our wealth pyramid is what we call the focused asset sector. And these are assets that actually, I'll take a step back, right? In the foundational ones, we're only chasing sort of 5 to 12% per annum, and we're looking to keep them forever. The wholesale asset one, we're actually chasing around that sort of 12 to 50% returns, and we're going to keep them anywhere from 1 to 3 years, right? The focused asset sector, what we're doing is we're looking at, again, everything we talk about is quality assets. So we're looking at quality assets, but we're targeting things like energy, whether it's the energy sector, or for me that's the cryptocurrency sector. I love that. It's all about those quality focused assets. It could be in gold, metal, all those sorts of things. What are you smiling at?
I'm sorry, I was just thinking.
And you're looking to keep them anywhere from 2 to 10 years, right? And depending on what you're doing, it will work on what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
The next one we're doing, it's all about active trading, and that's the key where we go, okay, with the active trading, what we're doing is, it's exactly what we're saying. You are buying and selling these assets, and you're very, targeted as to what you're doing, whether that's Forex or shares, again, whether you're trading Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies, that's what we're looking for. And you're only looking to hold these for about 4 to 9 months, right?
4 to 9 months, yeah.
That's it. But we're looking for like 50 to 1,000% return in those timeframes. And I know that sounds a bit crazy. However, we've got a bunch of, case studies and testimonials that we can show you how simple that is. I'll give you an example, right? We suggested that, that people do some homework in our community on a certain asset class. And those that took up the opportunity, they actually got in, and we personally got in at about 37 cents. And within, I think it was, so we bought them on a Thursday. By the following Friday, they'd gone up to 75 cents. So what we did is we actually sold half, which means we got our capital back, and then we've got the rest sitting there now. And they've gone as high as 98, and now they're back down to about 65 cents last time I checked. So for us, it doesn't matter because we've protected it. But if you think about that, we basically made 100% return in 1 week, yeah? So if you compound that out, you're looking at, roughly 5,200% for the year. So it's not that hard, or uncommon to actually make those sort of returns. However, it's all about being very, focused and disciplined in that area that you want to actually, get those sort of returns and spend the time on it. Then the next part is the part that we love, and we're actually, we love this part because we call it wholesale cash flow. And again, this is buying quality assets that are returning, exceptional returns, and anywhere from sort of 12 to 30%. And in fact, we've got a couple of strategies now that are actually far exceeding that. But we know that these are only going to last sometimes between sort of 1 to 18 months, sometimes longer. And because like we've got one that's been paying 15% return, for the last 10 years since we've known about it. And we call that a wholesale cash flow, right? Now, all the returns that we're talking about, guys, like one, we're obviously not mentioning what they are and stuff, but we're not guaranteeing that that's going to happen in the future as well, okay? So the old disclaimer,
what can you guarantee?
Yeah, past performances don't guarantee future returns, okay?
Yeah.
We're just giving you case studies and examples, and we can actually grab these out at any time and show and prove you to say that what we're saying is 100% correct, all right? Good, yeah?
So on top of the pyramid?
On top of the pyramid is what we call early stage investing. Now, this is a really interesting area because it really is, and I get excited because the rules are changing, right? And I briefly spoke about it the other day because generally early stage investing, that's where the sophisticated investors are. Remember, sophisticated investors are the ones that are, the ASIC says that, net worth of 2 million, 250 grand plus a year in income, or can dump $500,000 cash into, the one investment. So that's a sophisticated, and all the early stage, the sophisticated investors can get access to these. And this is where you see people like, the Warren Buffetts, the Elon Musks, all getting and being allowed to get into the startups when they're buying, Facebook at 2 cents a share before they go into billions of dollars, right? That's early stage investing. Who, hands up, who wanted to get invested into Facebook, when it first kicked off in his dorm room, yeah? That's early stage investing, and they're looking for anywhere from 50 to 5,000+% return, yeah? But this is the kicker with early stage. It's not a get rich quick scheme. They actually aim their target time frame is anywhere from 3 to 10 years for those returns. And there's far more startups that will fold than what we call unicorns, those ones that are just going to shoot for the sky.
Magical ones.
So what we do at the Wealth Game, we actually, educate you on every single part of those, the pyramid,
levels,
different levels, and then what we work out and help you work out is go, okay, what percentage of your portfolio do you need when, where, and in what, basically. So quite often, you'll find that, if you've only got like $500 or a couple of $1,000s to start with, we'll be able to put you into the wholesale cash flow strategies so that, you're making, through quality assets, good returns, building up your capital, so you then take it and you then start to bring it down, and then eventually what you're doing is actually building your foundational assets. That's the key.
You're building your life your way.
Building your life your way.
Making your own rules.
And you're building that foundation as strong and as solid and as wide as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that's the key to it. So guys, you know, we're coming to the end of our series. We've got one more night tomorrow night, Friday night. I know, you know, you might be watching it down at the local or whatever the case may be, but that's the last night. We're going to do a special tomorrow night. We're going to talk about our events coming up. We've got one in Melbourne on the 27th of May and one in Sydney on the 3rd of June. And like I've said, there's only 50 spots. Every single topic that we've spoken about, you know, for the few minutes, we've actually, you know, we go into far more detail. And then what we get is during the conversations that we have, because that's what it's like when there's such small, you know, small groups of people, and with the experts that we have, is we have these conversations, but in between, we're actually on the walls, we've got deals that are either still live now or have been purchased in the past, right? So we get you to simulate what we're talking about and bring it back in and work on it there. It's a great way, in the you know, there's videos, you'll see the testimonials of people, you know, playing the game, and it's a lot of fun to start with. But also the learnings that we see and the aha moments and the reality when people go, holy hell, why doesn't other people tell us this, and why, you know, we can actually truly escape escape the system, as we call it, you know, in 5 years or less. So I'm going to
just keep an eye out for the time tomorrow night, because I need to double check what time the Anzac test is on, so we're not going to doing our live through that, because I know I want to watch it.
Yeah, it'll be before.
I'm sure a lot of you do as well. Yeah, it'll be before it, but I just can't remember what time the kickoff is.
Yeah, normally 8 o'clock, I think 7:30. So
yeah.
we'll do it about 7 o'clock tomorrow anyway.
Yep.
So
awesome,
guys, I hope that was useful. And like I said, we're going to do a special tomorrow night. So tune in for that, and we'll see you then. Bye for now.
See yous.